Have you ever wondered if someone is showing interest in you in a more subtle way? Sometimes the signs are so small that we don't even notice them, but they're there, waiting to be spotted. In today's video, I'm going to reveal 10 signs of interest that you probably aren't seeing, but that could be right in front of your eyes. And the best part, they're so discreet that they might just be the key to knowing if someone is really interested in something more. Stick with me until the end, because you're going to be surprised by what could be happening to you. And who knows, you might even understand better the behaviors of those around you. When you're talking to someone and notice that they maintain eye contact and smile often, it goes beyond simple manners or courtesy. Eye contact is one of the most powerful ways to create a genuine connection between two people. When someone looks you in the eyes while speaking, they're not just listening to what you're saying, they're focused and connected to you on a deeper level. That constant gaze could be a sign that the person is really interested, as it's a way to show attention and respect. Additionally, the smile plays a crucial role in nonverbal communication, not only because it's contagious, but also because it activates areas in the brain linked to pleasure and reward, making the person who smiles appear more attractive and welcoming. Imagine how you feel when someone smiles at you genuinely. The sense of comfort and attraction is immediate. That constant smile could be a clear sign that the person feels comfortable with you and, more importantly, is creating a safe and open space for you to get closer. Moreover, the smile and gaze could indicate something more subtle, like a desire for intimacy or an invitation for you to get emotionally closer. If you notice that the person also slightly tilts their head while smiling or softens their gaze, that could be a sign of vulnerability, and they might be hoping you'll take the next step. These little gestures could be asking you to take the relationship in a certain direction, whether with a subtle touch, a closer approach, or even a deeper conversation. In social interactions, the person who smiles and maintains steady eye contact could be sending a clear signal that they're inviting you into a more intimate space without words. They're creating an invisible bond, waiting for you to notice and respond positively, perhaps by stepping up the relationship, or at least making it clear that they're open to something beyond just casual conversation. If you also feel comfortable and at ease with the interaction, don't ignore these signs, as they could be the key to building a stronger, more meaningful connection. Have you noticed how, in some conversations, the person starts mirroring your gestures, posture, or even the way you speak? This behavior, known as mirroring, is one of the most subtle and powerful forms of nonverbal communication, and it could be a big indicator that someone is really interested in you. Mirroring happens almost automatically, often without the person even realizing it, and reflects a deep emotional connection. When someone imitates your gestures or facial expressions, it shows they feel comfortable with you and, more importantly, that there's a natural affinity between you two. In the context of relationships, mirroring goes beyond just trying to copy your actions. It's a reflection of an unconscious desire to create harmony with the other person, to connect in a more intimate way. It could be that the person starts adopting your posture, placing their hands in the same way, or even making the same facial expressions while speaking. This doesn't happen by chance. Mirroring is a clear sign that the person feels a genuine connection and is willing to get closer. Furthermore, mirroring isn't limited to gestures. It could involve imitating your tone of voice, speech rhythm, and even the vocabulary you use. This creates a sense of harmony, as if you're both in tune. In a relationship, this natural exchange of behaviors could be a sign that the person is more than just interested. They want to establish a stronger bond, showing that they're tuned in with you. In more practical terms, if you notice the person starting to imitate your actions or respond in similar ways to you, it's possible they're seeking a deeper connection. This mirroring could be the first step in creating a more comfortable and natural relationship, where both of you feel at ease to take the next step. If this is happening often, the person might be waiting for you to take the initiative, perhaps hoping you'll notice the connection and deepen it more openly and directly. In this case, mirroring isn't just a coincidence. It's a message that they're ready for more if you want to move forward. One of the clearest ways to show that someone is really interested in you is their attention to small details. This goes way beyond simply remembering what you like to eat or your favorite song. When someone shows attention to things you mention casually, like something you did over the weekend or a comment about your routine, it indicates that this person is genuinely paying attention to you and that your presence has an emotional impact. Imagine you once mentioned that you like a specific type of coffee or that you have an exercise routine. If days later, the person surprises you with a cup of that coffee or asks how your exercise routine is going, It's a clear sign they're listening and caring about the things that are important to you. This level of attention doesn't happen by chance. It shows that the person is emotionally investing in the relationship and wants to connect with you on a deeper level. This behavior can also manifest in other aspects of the relationship. If they remember details like a situation that made you happy or something that worries you, it's a way of showing that they're paying attention to your world, your emotions, and your feelings. This level of interest and care indicates that the person is expecting something more, perhaps a gesture from you that shows you're as interested as they are. Moreover, if they start asking about things you've never directly mentioned, but are clearly important in your life, it could be a sign that they're trying to learn more about you and build a stronger relationship. This could include asking about your friends, your family, your future plans, or your opinions on deeper topics. Attention to detail, in this sense, is a way of showing that the person is willing to invest in the relationship and wants to know you fully, always seeking ways to make the connection richer and more meaningful. If you notice the person remembering and valuing these little things, it's a great sign. They might be waiting for a move on your part to take the relationship further, perhaps hoping you'll realize how much they're emotionally investing and reciprocate with the same intensity. Attention to detail is one of the most sincere gestures of interest, and a way of showing that the person is ready for a deeper relationship. When someone is interested in you, physical proximity and casual touches become clear signs of attraction and a desire to create a more intimate connection. This kind of behavior doesn't have to be exaggerated or invasive, but subtle and natural, like a touch on the arm during a conversation or an approach when in a group. These gestures are an unconscious way of creating physical intimacy, a way of saying, "I'm comfortable with you and I'd like to be closer." Physical proximity, especially when you notice that someone consistently tries to be close to you whenever possible, can reflect a desire to establish a stronger bond. When someone positions themselves near you for no logical reason, like sitting next to you without necessity or being in the same area of a room, it's a clear sign that they're trying to create a sense of intimacy. This could indicate that they're hoping you'll also emotionally approach them to strengthen this physical connection with something deeper. Casual touches, on the other hand, can be even more powerful. When someone touches you gently and naturally, like a tap on the arm, a light pat on the back, or a tighter hug, this isn't just a physical interaction. It's a way to trigger an emotional response, creating a stronger bond. Touch releases oxytocin, a hormone related to feelings of well-being and intimacy, which makes these interactions even more meaningful. If you notice that the person makes an effort to maintain this kind of contact, even briefly or casually, it's a good sign that they want to create more closeness. These gestures might also be a way for them to test your feelings. When the person approaches or gives a casual touch, they could be observing your reaction to see if you respond positively. If you reciprocate with a smile or a similar gesture, it could signal that both of you are on the same wavelength, and they may be waiting for you to take the next step in making the interaction more personal, perhaps starting a more intimate relationship. If over time, these touches and the proximity increase, it could be a clear invitation to take things to a deeper level. The person might be subtly hoping you'll recognize these signs and take the next step in building a stronger relationship, where the emotional and physical connection intertwine harmoniously. These signs are not just casual, they have a purpose: to establish intimacy and closeness that can evolve as the relationship advances. When someone starts asking more personal questions, not just about what you do or where you work, but also about your opinions, feelings, or deeper thoughts, it's a sign that they are genuinely interested in you and want to establish a closer connection. These kinds of questions go beyond small talk and seek to understand what you think, how you feel, and what matters to you. The person truly wants to know you, not just on the surface, and is expecting an answer that goes beyond the trivial. For example, if someone starts asking about your values, your life experiences, or even what you want from a relationship, it shows that they're trying to understand you on a deeper level. They want to know what you think about the future, relationships, and often what makes you feel good or bad. This not only demonstrates interest, but also a desire to build a solid foundation for the connection between you two. Another sign of interest is when they ask for your opinion on personal matters or topics that are important to them. This could involve seeking advice about their career, personal life, or how to handle an emotional situation. By asking for your opinion, they're showing that they value what you think and want to understand how you view the world. This behavior can also be a way for them to test how you respond to more serious topics, like values and beliefs, to see if you share a similar worldview. Additionally, these questions may be a clear signal that the person wants to get closer to you. By sharing something personal or asking for your opinion on something important, they might be looking for a response that confirms you're open to engaging more deeply. This can be an indirect way of prompting you to take the initiative, seeing that they're willing to trust and share more about themselves, hoping that you'll do the same. If these questions become more frequent or start touching on more significant themes, it could signal that the person is expecting something more than just casual conversation. They want to build a foundation of trust and mutual understanding that can take the relationship to a more serious, emotionally deep level. If you notice they're asking more personal questions, don't hesitate to share your own thoughts and feelings, as this could mark the beginning of a stronger, more meaningful bond. Often, people might show signs of nervousness or insecurity when they're around someone they like, and these behaviors can be more revealing than you might think. If you notice that the person starts fiddling with their hair, adjusting their clothes, touching their face, or moving a little more restlessly when they're near you, these gestures could indicate that they're nervous but also interested. When someone likes another person, it's natural for their body to react more intensely, especially in moments of proximity. Nervousness, in this case, isn't necessarily negative. Often, it's a reflection of how much the person cares about the interaction. These gestures can be an unconscious attempt to freshen up or seem more attractive. For example, someone might play with their hair or adjust their clothes as a way of feeling more comfortable or trying to improve their appearance in front of you. This happens because they're aware of your presence and want to make a good impression. Another sign of nervousness could be more reserved behavior, like averting eye contact, speaking more quickly, or even stammering a bit. These signs indicate that the person might be anxious, unsure of how to act or behave to impress you. But at the same time, these gestures show that they care deeply about how you perceive them. Insecurity, in this context, can reflect the desire to please and be accepted by you, demonstrating emotional vulnerability. These actions aren't just automatic reactions. Often, they're a silent plea for you to take the lead. The person might be waiting for you to notice their nervousness or insecurity, and, upon recognizing this vulnerability, take a step forward to ease the tension and make them feel more comfortable. These signs could indicate that they're hoping you'll take control of the situation, perhaps with a gentler approach or a gesture of reassurance that shows you're at ease with them. If you notice that the person is consistently showing signs of nervousness, this could be a good opportunity for you to move a bit closer and make sure they feel comfortable. A calm smile, a sincere compliment, or even a word of encouragement could help relieve the tension. By noticing these small gestures, you'll be showing that you've recognized their vulnerability and are willing to move forward toward a deeper interaction, where nervousness gives way to a more natural and comfortable connection. When someone is attracted to you, one of the most obvious ways they show this interest is through their gaze. Long or frequent glances, often without an obvious reason, can be some of the clearest signs that the person is waiting for you to take the initiative. The gaze has immense power in nonverbal communication. It can convey a message stronger than words. When someone is interested in you, it's natural for them to constantly seek your gaze, either to confirm a connection or to express feelings that haven't been spoken yet. If you notice that the person looks at you constantly, whether during a conversation or even from afar, it could reflect an unconscious desire to establish a deeper connection. The gaze is a way of saying, "I'm here and I'm interested in you," often without uttering a word. These glances might be subtle at first, as if the person is trying to capture your attention, but they can become more intense as attraction grows. The most interesting thing is that, often, prolonged gazes aren't planned. They happen naturally when two people feel attracted to each other. If the person avoids eye contact in a shy way and then quickly looks at you again, it may indicate that they're nervous, but at the same time, they want you to notice their interest. On the other hand, if the gazes are constant and prolonged, it could be a clear attempt to establish an emotional bond, and they're hoping you'll notice and reciprocate this gesture. Moreover, the gaze can be a way to test your feelings. If you notice that the person looks at you more often or more intensely, they might be observing how you react to these looks. If you respond with a smile or a look of interest, it could be a sign that the person is waiting for you to take the initiative and possibly move things to a more intimate or romantic level. In some cases, prolonged gazes may also be accompanied by a subtle smile or a change in posture, as if they're waiting for confirmation that you're also interested. This kind of nonverbal communication can be one of the easiest to spot, as it's very hard to disguise. If you notice the person is frequently trying to capture your attention with their gaze, it's a great indicator that they're waiting for you to take the lead in the relationship and make a move towards something more meaningful between you. One of the clearest ways to tell if someone is interested in you is noticing that they make an effort to be physically close, even without an apparent reason. If they seek to be by your side, position themselves near you in a setting, or even change their location to be closer to where you are, it's a clear sign they're trying to create a more intimate and comfortable space for interaction between you. This kind of behavior doesn't happen by chance. It reflects a desire to be more connected to you and to establish a proximity that goes beyond mere coincidence. For example, if at an event or gathering with friends, you notice they always choose to sit next to you, even when other seats are available, or if they approach whenever there's an opportunity to interact, it shows they're trying to be closer to you, both physically and emotionally. Physical proximity is a way of expressing interest, since people don't typically seek to stay close to someone they're not interested in, especially in situations where they could choose another place or companion. Additionally, this pursuit of proximity could be an indirect way of testing if you're also interested in them. If they approach and you don't push them away or seem uncomfortable with their presence, it sends a positive message to them, who might interpret your receptiveness as a sign that you're open to this connection as well. If you notice they do this consistently, it might be time to reciprocate the gesture, allowing the closeness to feel more natural and perhaps lead to a deeper connection. Sometimes, the person may also use physical proximity as a way to start a conversation or create a moment of intimacy. When someone is always near you, the interaction becomes easier and more fluid. Also, if you begin to notice the person making an effort to be in your orbit, whether at social events, work, or other contexts, it could be a sign they're hoping you'll recognize this behavior and reciprocate with a gesture of interest. If over time, you notice that this person is getting closer to you, both physically and emotionally, it's possible they're creating an opportunity for you to notice their interest and take the next step. This could be the perfect opportunity for you to recognize these signs and move closer, perhaps with a more personal conversation, or even inviting them to something more specific, like a date. Have you ever noticed that, in some interactions, the person starts mirroring your gestures, posture, or even tone of voice? This could be a revealing behavior indicating that they're interested in you and want to establish a deeper connection. Mirroring or unconsciously imitating behaviors is a natural way for humans to connect with others, building emotional bonds and showing empathy. When someone starts mimicking your actions, it's a clear sign they feel comfortable with you and there's a growing affinity between you. For example, if you make a gesture, like crossing your legs, and shortly after notice they do the same, or if you adopt a relaxed posture and they follow your lead, it's not just coincidence. Mirroring is a way to show that the person is in sync with you, positively responding to your behavior and creating a deeper connection. This imitation might occur subtly, but it directly reflects the desire to form a stronger bond and make you feel that both of you are in harmony. Mirroring can also include tone of voice. If you speak in a softer or more animated way, and the person starts speaking similarly, it might be a way for them to get closer to you by adjusting their behavior to align with yours. This signals they're comfortable in your presence and want to build a stronger emotional connection. This behavior is unconscious, but it reveals a clear desire to integrate and create a more harmonious and comfortable relationship. Furthermore, mirroring can be a subtle way to express that the person feels comfortable with you and wants you to notice their interest. They may imitate your facial expressions, speaking style, or even hand movements, all to create a sense of closeness and trust. If you notice this person starting to mirror your behaviors, even if lightly or unintentionally, it's a strong indicator that they're waiting for you to get closer. This type of behavior is an excellent opportunity for you to recognize the other person's interest. If you notice they start adopting your gestures or attitudes, it could be an invitation for you to strengthen the bond between you, taking the interaction to a more personal and emotional level. Mirroring is a natural reflection of someone's interest in you and their desire to get closer. So when you notice this, you can take it as a signal to advance the relationship, perhaps creating a more intimate moment or a deeper conversation. Sometimes people try to gauge your interest and see how you would react to certain situations or questions, especially when they're interested in you but aren't sure how you feel. This behavior is known as testing the other person's reaction. When someone starts making indirect comments or asking questions that seem to walk the line between curiosity and flirting, it might be a sign they're trying to better understand where you are emotionally and how you would react to a potential romantic interest. For example, if the person starts asking if you would consider them for a date, or if they make a comment about your appearance, like, "Do you think I'd look good in this?" Or, "I'd really be happy if someone like you asked me out," it could be a way of testing if you're attracted to them and, at the same time, seeing how you would respond. This kind of question may be a discreet way of getting feedback on your feelings without directly confessing anything. By doing this, they're hoping to see your reaction and decide whether or not to move forward with a more direct approach. In addition, these tests can manifest in small gestures or playful comments that, while seeming harmless, are actually meant to gauge your emotional response. It could be a light tease, like joking about the type of relationship you two could have, or how interesting it would be to spend more time together. The intention behind this behavior is to assess how you handle these little provocations. If you respond positively, they'll likely see it as a sign that you're interested in deepening the relationship. These tests may seem subtle or even confusing, but they're actually a way for the person to try to figure out if you're open to something more than just friendship or a casual relationship. Often, the person isn't sure how to make the first move for fear of being rejected, so they make these little provocations to see how you react before exposing themselves emotionally. If you notice someone is constantly testing your reactions, pay attention to how you respond. It can be helpful to be direct, but also kind in how you answer these tests. If you're interested in the person, a positive response like a smile, a sincere comment, or even a more direct compliment can help create a safe space for them to open up more and perhaps take the initiative to move things to a deeper level. When someone is interested in you, their body may react instinctively. Gestures like playing with their hair, adjusting their clothes, or showing a bit of anxiety when interacting with you are clear signs that the person is emotionally engaged. These behaviors usually happen unconsciously and reflect a desire to make a good impression or the excitement of being near someone they're attracted to. If you notice these signs, it's a good opportunity to respond empathetically, with a smile or a compliment, helping to create a more comfortable and natural environment for the interaction. When someone is constantly looking for opportunities to start conversations with you, even about simple topics, it's a clear sign of interest. This person is looking to build a deeper connection and is investing time and energy in interacting with you. Even if the conversations seem casual, the goal is to strengthen the bond. If you notice this, you can reciprocate with more open responses, creating an environment that's conducive to deepening the relationship and perhaps moving towards something more intimate. Sometimes, a person interested in you might be direct and ask about your feelings or your opinion of them, like, "Are you interested in me?" Or, "What do you think about us?" This approach is a clear way of seeking answers and understanding what you feel, without beating around the bush. While this may seem a little intimidating, this direct question is often a way for the person to try to clarify the situation before taking any further action. They want to know if there's any kind of reciprocity and if you're open to a deeper relationship. When someone asks these kinds of questions, it could be a sign that they're ready for the next step in the relationship and want to know if you share the same feelings. The intention behind this question is to create clarity, avoiding assumptions or misunderstandings. They've likely already noticed signs that you might be interested, but they want confirmation to know if they should move forward. These questions can be unsettling, especially if you're unsure of how you feel. However, this openness can be a great opportunity for you to be honest, either by revealing your feelings or giving the person space to share their intentions. If you're also interested, responding positively can help strengthen the bond and lead to a more serious relationship. Otherwise, an honest and respectful response will help keep communication clear and avoid misunderstandings. This direct approach may be the person's way of opening up and gathering the courage to move forward. If you notice you're being asked this way, it's important to be prepared to respond sincerely and be mindful of their feelings, as this is a chance to take the next step in the relationship. I hope these tips have helped you better understand the signs of interest in a relationship. Now, I'd love to hear what you think. Have you noticed any of these signs from someone? Or maybe you've used them yourself to show interest. Leave your comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any new videos, and of course, give a like to support our content. See you next time.